What's poppin', y'all? We back with another episode of the Squid Game Aftermath podcast. I am your host, DeAndre, aka Player 288, and today I have the pleasure of bringing with me the Latina from Mexico, Player 386, Mimi Meza. What's poppin'?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm blessed. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm like nervous, excited to be here. I on screen time.
Well, I'm more than happy to have you. So, your bio says you are from Arizona, but you're from Mexico as well?
Yeah. So I was born in Mexico, but I came over to the United States when I was really young. Um, and I've been here ever since.
Okay. I like that. I like that. She bring a little spice and flavor to the Squid Games, which it needs a little bit more of. So definitely, I'm loving all of that. It's being one fourth Mexican myself, so definitely I'm there with you, my friend. Tell me, why did you decide to apply for Squid Game the challenge?
So actually, I didn't apply right away. So I had somebody message me on Instagram and I get like little, collabs here and there. So I thought, oh my God, it's one of those fake collab things. And he was like, oh, I'm a producer. You should apply. I seen your YouTube. And I never believed him until he emailed me and like I seen the logo. You know how in the bottom I showed the logo? I'm like, oh, this looks legit. He's like, yeah, apply and we'll set up like a call. So then I applied and I was like, oh, I don't have time to do a video. And he's like, it's okay. We can use one from your channel. So I did that. And then right away he called me and we did the phone interview. But I
Wow.
didn't really think I was gonna, I think I didn't know like the magnitude of what I was doing because I've watched Squid Game, the challenge, but I was like, okay, yeah, no way. I cannot do this.
She said she couldn't do it, but hey, she said she was gonna do it anyways, and you apply and get on the
Yeah.
show. And so, you get all through all the process and whatnot, and it's the night before you head out to London. Tell me what's going through your head.
Honestly, I'm a very, I think like, I don't even know how I made it there. I'm a very paranoid person. I was like, what if this is like some type of trafficking? Like, I'm gonna go in the car with a complete stranger. Like, what if I never see my family again? Like, I started overthinking. Like, I was legit like, okay, I'm not gonna wear makeup. Like, I was like, oh my God, I should put something like, I was just freaking out. Like, legit, I was getting anxiety really bad.
Oh dang, she was stressing. She's like, "Look, what
It
did I sign
was.
up for? What is going on, coach?" Well, luckily, I don't think that was the case. But we still have these thoughts because we're going off. We don't have no cell phone, don't have nothing. So, but we get over there and you quarantine for a couple days, and you find out that it's time to head to the first game. So, tell me what's going on through your head when you get on the bus.
Honestly, I was so excited because the quarantine killed me. I have never been away from people for that long. I was going crazy. I was like, you know how we weren't able to talk to other players in the hotel? I was like, oh my God, like I need to talk to people. So I remember getting in that bus, like instantly, like friends. And I actually ended up sitting with TJ. And it was like what, like a 2 hour drive. And I feel so bad for TJ because I could tell he was tired. And I was like, so tell me about yourself. Like, what do you do for a living? So he told me his whole life story. And to me, I was like, oh, this is going to be my bestie. And he's big, like, he's safe. And you know what? Let me expose TJ really quick
Ooh.
because, like, okay, I told him, I'm married. He's like, oh, I'm married too. We were talking about our kids. And then when I don't want to skip, I talk too much. I don't want to skip through it. But later on in the show, I was like, TJ, he's like, I'm married, girl. I was like, I know that. But I think he was just like, I'm not trying to get in trouble. And I was just like, well, you're safe. I want to be your friend.
Oh my gosh, you gonna get me in trouble.
I know, spilling all the tea right away, huh? I have
Yes,
no chill.
the people want to hear these things. Don't say, "Listen, this is your story. This is your story to tell. This is all about Mimi." So, okay, you said you had that happen on the bus ride there. It was very interesting. Okay, so this is a long bus ride. Do you guys continue talking or what?
Yeah, so he told me a lot about himself. I thought he was a really cool dude. And I'm telling you, I think the reason why I also thought like he was safe is because I'm like, I was like, okay, he's not gonna try to like, hit on me because he has a girl and he's a big dude. So he's gonna be my homie for tug of war. Joke's on me. I mean, I ended up getting eliminated by him.
Wow.
Crazy, huh?
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Okay, so well, we'll get there soon. But interesting. So we get up to the red light, green light arena, and we can tell what it is. And when you first walk into the arena, tell me what's going on through your head.
I don't think like it fully hit me until we got in there. I was like, wait, what? Like, this is legit. This is not like, I don't know. I think like when I heard like the challenge or like the reality, I thought it was gonna be like a little knockoff. No, but we walked in there and I was like, holy cow, like what? Like, are all these people actors? Like, I was feeling so intimidated by everybody because I'm like, wow, these people are probably paid.
You was thinking people was actors, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
okay.
and then like there was so many like buff, fit people. Like I remember the girl, because you know how they would put us in numbers by like according to our number in the line. She was
Mm-hmm.
like a track star, like she's super fit, and she's like, "Oh, I got this." I was like, "Oh crap, I'm gonna die over here." And she actually got eliminated, and I made it. I was like, "Yay!"
Yeah, no, there's a lot
It
of
was
like
that
real
extra
athletic.
muscle.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of I think big personalities and big, egos. Not to say they were bad people, but that got eliminated in the first
Yeah.
game. So definitely was a wake up call to like, wow, anybody could go. But when we
Yeah.
get in there and we do our little practice round, it's almost time to go. Tell me your strategy.
I really went in with the old man strategy. I'm like, I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna be super slow. Plus, it was freezing, so my hands were holding the hand warmers the whole time. And I remember that was my strategy. I was like, I'm gonna go slow. And the girl, I'm telling you, that girl, I think she was trying to intimidate me because she's like, "You're never gonna make it. Do you see how big that is? Do you see the time? You have to run." And I was like, "Oh my god, should I run?" Like I started doubting myself. But yeah, I was like, "Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna run."
Okay, okay. She had the idea and plan. So when it's time to go, three, two, one, the doll starts singing and we take off, getting the first pose. 5 minutes pass, 10 minutes pass, 15 minutes pass. What's going on through your head?
I was like, okay. So to be honest, when I heard that first, like, I was like so tempted to look down. I'm like, oh my god, is it me? But I was like, crap, no. I'm like, I'm not gonna. Even if it's me, I'm not gonna move. Like, I just did not think I was gonna even make it to the next round. And honestly, that was what I kept on telling myself in my head was just like, it's okay, just one more round, just one more round. And then when I got there far enough to like the middle, I'm like, okay, you're already this far. But I legit thought I was gonna faint. Like all of the lights on top was getting me dizzy. I don't even know how I did that, to be honest.
Okay,
I
okay.
think that was harder than having kids.
Might be, might be. But yeah, you make it through
It
slowly and
was
surely.
difficult.
I look, girl. I know, like the thing was not shaking how you wanted to shake, but you making it through slowly and surely, and you're getting close to the finish line. Tell me what's going on in your head when you see the finish line in sight.
Well, actually, before I get close to like, I'm like halfway and I look at the time and I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm doing this old man technique, like the original show, but I'm not going to make it in time. Like, I need to speed it up. So I was like, crap, like, I need to, like, literally, I was just running. And then I would just kind of hear the song when it would get to like, dee, 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 dee. I was like, oh, let me stop just in case. Let me be on the safe side. But I had to run at the end. I was like, oh, well, it's going to warm me up.
Okay, okay. It's gonna warm her up. So yeah, you get closer and closer, and you ultimately make it through. So congratulations, you make it through the first game. It's lit, it's popping, the spices is flowing, and the juices is going. So congratulations, player 386 is moving on. So we get up out of there, and it is time to go into the dorms. So what are you thinking when you first step into the dorms?
I'm telling you, like same reaction. I was like, wait, what? This is exactly like the show. Like I feel like okay, my biggest problem was I feel like some people had strategies, they had practice. They were like, so like I'm gonna get this money. To me, I was like, screw the money. Like, do you see where I'm at? Like, this place is dope. Like, I was just happy with the experience within itself. I was like, this is iconic. I get to sleep here, and all of those other people went home. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, I did not think I was gonna make it. So that's what I was like when I walked in there. I was like, wow, like this is my reward right here. Like just getting a bed.
Okay, very humble queen up in there popping through and say, "Look, I'm grateful to be here. I like that. I like that." So when you see all these different people walking around, are you thinking of talking to everybody? Or are you thinking about making a few small group? And then who do you get close with?
So I originally my first like in their friend was Sam, which is player 016. Just because she was right next to me in the red light, green light. Eventually, I get close to other Latinos who also speak Spanish. That I'm like, yay, like I kind of feel a little bit more at home. But I wasn't trying to make friends. I legit went to a bed and I was just sitting there because I feel like sometimes, like right now, I talk too much, and people are like, I don't know, like I'm like, I wasn't even myself in there. I was like, I'm just trying to just, be incognito over here until people start noting who I am.
Okay, smart, smart, smart. So get close with Sam, of course, and then you just trying to play this low key, under the radar game. Makes sense, makes sense. Well, soon we find out that player 200 is eliminated. Tell me what goes on in your head when you see this go down.
I was like, holy crap. Like, I didn't even know who he was. Like, I had seen him, like, I had talked to him, and I mean, he was like a sweet guy. Like, I'm just like, wow, like, this guy's being a sweet guy and he got eliminated. Like, crap. Maybe I need to not be nice. Like, maybe I'm doing good. Like, let me just not talk to anybody. And it's crazy because I remember, like, one of the first males I spoke to, I think, was Brighton. And I remember, I think you were in his group or something. And I was like, oh my God, like, what do I do? I'm like, should I even speak back? I'm like, I'm not trying to be like in the radar because I know people are like, throwing rumors of like, oh, Brighton. And I'm like, I don't want to be cool with Brighton if nobody likes Brighton. But to be fair, he wasn't mean, I was just like, move away from me.
She said, "I don't want none of those problems, coach. Sub me out the game.
Yeah.
Put me back on the sidelines." Okay, okay. Well, yeah, 200 sits home, goes home, and so we soon enter the second game. And the second, we walk into the white room for the first time, and we see these four lines. What's going on through your head?
So as soon as we walk in there, I'm thinking, I don't even know. I mean, I was like, okay, it's cookie for sure. It's gonna go in the order. I before that's the one tech, like the one strategy I did have. I'm like, if I ever happen to have like a line selection, I'm gonna be in the middle. Like if I'm in the front, I'm not trying to go first and I'm not trying to go last. I'm trying to go in the middle so I can see what the people before me did. And that really sucked for me because all of my friends, like the Latino people, went like on an opposite line of me. Um, and I was there by myself, but something told me, I'm like, just stay here. And I'm so happy I did because I got triangle. But let me tell you that was the most intense part of the game, I think. Like
Oh, yeah.
by far.
Okay. Why do you think that was most intense part?
When the screens went on and like I think I remember that's I seen you in there when you walked in there. I don't know if you were the first group or the second group. Which one were you?
Second group. Second group.
The second group. Okay. So I remember when the screens turned on, that's like I mean, since you remember being there, that was the first time that the screens had turned on at all. Like, that we got to see like what the camera looked like for like the audience. And I was like, holy crap. Like I was first of all shook at like how realistic it looked. I was like, it looks just like the show. And then I was just, to me, it was like a novela, like a soap opera. I was like, heck yeah, like eliminate them. I don't even know them. And then I remember you went, and I remember when you went the second group, I think it got even more intense because you guys already had like a technique in your heads. And I feel like I was like, dang, they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight. I was like, heck yeah, this is gonna be good.
You thought we was gonna fight.
Yeah, I was like, fight, fight, fight.
I'm weak as heck. Well, I wanted to, coach.
Was
I
it
was I
was
was
it you
ready to
that
throw
broke that
down.
wall?
That was me, yeah.
I'm so done. I figured. See, I'm telling you, you had to fight something. You fought the wall.
Exactly. Exactly. Look, I had to get it out some way, but yeah, that was my group in there. It was dire situations. It was very dire situations, and then fighting for our lives in there. Fighting for my life, and
So I want to know because this is my first time asking you. How did you feel in that? Like, I would have probably been crying. Like, okay, I don't want to do this.
It was a tough situation. The hardest part I think was when we went in there. We had everyone in our lines run up to us, telling us their ideas and what we should and shouldn't do. And so what I originally had planned kind of went out the window because I had all these people that I kind of
In your
essentially had to
ear.
look after. And I went in there and everyone was chanting my name when I walked in too. So that was another burden I had on my shoulders. Like I can't pick Umbrella now. All these people just put every single ounce of faith in me, even though it's a solo game, and I get that. But
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I couldn't walk in there, look those people in the face, and live with myself picking Umbrella after I promised them. Like I'm like, I got you. Then I'm not doing it. And so it was dirt nerve wracking in there. The time it kind of the 2 minutes flew by. But it wasn't easy, dealing with
That
the other people just because they weren't agreeing to what we agreed upon to decide who got what shape. And I was like,
that
look,
is
I told my, yeah, go
crazy.
ahead. Yeah, it was nuts, and I knew going in there I had to die. I was gonna die on my sword for some people, or I was gonna take care of my business. But I had to do the first, and that's kind of what it was. Long story short version. So it was wild in there for sure. But um, but
I
yeah,
can't hear you
ultimately,
now.
can you hear me now? Is that better?
You're frozen.
Oh, snap. What's happening? Hold on. We gonna fix it. All right, we back, y'all. Sorry for the technical difficulties one more time. I had to freeze frame. But yeah, it was definitely tough situations in there and not easy, and I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. So ultimately, yes, line two goes out, boom, and then line three selects the shape order that's it's in, circle, triangle, star, umbrella. And you get triangle, as you say. So you get the triangle, you walk in there. How you feeling about the triangle? And tell
I
me your
can't hear
process.
you.
What is going on? All right, yeah. So I was saying, so you guys get triangle. So how do you feel about walking into the Dalgona arena, getting triangle, and what's your process of getting through it?
Um, well, really quick, because I didn't hear what you said. I wanted to ask you, do you regret not picking at least the umbrella? At least you wouldn't have gone home that way? Or do you like that you had that moment to shine? Because I think it was pretty iconic.
Looking back at everything, hindsight 2020, yes, I would have liked to pick Umbrella to give myself a chance, but in the moment, I wasn't picking it just because of everything that transpired, and I was willing to live and die with my decision. So in the moment, no, I don't regret it. Looking back, yes, I do wish I picked Umbrella. So because I feel like I could have did the Umbrella. So
Okay.
that's just me. But
Yeah, I feel like you would have been able to do it. I was so happy when we walked in there. I know that like our person who selected it was Brighton. And I remember walking in there and everybody was like, oh my God, Brighton. And I was like, I'm just trying to get this done. Like, I was like, I'm telling you, I was trying to give him no attention because I knew people didn't like him. I was like, well, I'm going to go sit down. But I was thankful overall that, I mean, that they put on such a show, like the whole, like, spit on my cookie. And so I was like, that's pretty iconic, but let's just get this going.
okay, she got it going. So what was your process getting through the triangle?
So to be honest, like I'm telling you, I watched the show once. I didn't know what to expect. Like I didn't know the texture of the cookies slash whatever because it doesn't feel like a cookie. So going in there, I actually made friends with I can't remember his number, but he's like the only other person who's like I think he was Asian in there. And he was amazing. He had just had a baby and we were chatting it up and he was literally like quiet. And I'm like, why did he just go quiet? And he's like, he pointed at his mouth and then he swallowed and he's like, girl, I'm gonna do a solid, stop talking, just hold your saliva and just spit it in your tin. So I was like, oh, okay. So that was my strategy. I held so much saliva in there that I remember when I spit it in my tin, I was so embarrassed because it looked like soup. And I'm like, so I had to spill a little bit out. You could see a little puddle. And I just kind of like chilled back, let it sizzle in there for a little so it could kind of get soft. And then with my finger, actually, so it could get the heat, I kind of like just trace the triangle. And literally, not till the end, I used the actual like pin to pop it out. But I was just chasing like tracing it with my finger. So I would kind of melt off instead of me breaking anything. And it
Okay.
worked.
It worked just
I was
like
like, I
that
am not
too.
gonna lick this cookie. I'm not gonna do that on camera. Because I was seeing the other people go crazy. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it was getting crazy in those streets. And if y'all want to try your own Dalgona cookie, get some sugarartsupply.com. They got all the shapes on there, official Netflix cookies. Go ahead and get it and see if you can do it just like Mimi did. Um, so we move on out of there. So congratulations, you make it out of there, and it's you staying in the game, and everything's going as planned. You can hear me, right? Uh-oh, she can't hear me again. Hold on.
Or is it just not
No,
liking
no,
me?
I don't know why it's doing that. It's fine on my end.
Okay.
You're all clear, so I'll just go back and look at it. But yeah, you
Okay.
get back in the dorms and you see this telephone. Are you thinking about grabbing this telephone?
Heck no. I was like, I remember there was tests, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. But I'm not gonna lie, when like after I seen the first reward, I mean, you know the food we were eating in there, you can smell. It's like I feel like a dog. Like I could smell everything. And I was like, ugh, because okay, I know that they cut out a few like of the rewards they did, like they did donuts and stuff. So I kept on seeing constant rewards. I'm like, should I go get the phone? I'm like, hmm. But then I kind of was also seeing how these people were acting like savage animals. Like they were just like, "Arr." And I'm like, again, I'm like, I'm not trying to do this. And I know that if I eat it, I am gonna do that. Um, so yeah, that's the only reason I didn't get the phone because I was kind of scared to look crazy.
Okay, understandable, understandable. So, our friend 198 goes and grabs the phone, and ultimately he grabs it twice, and he is swiftly evacuated and sent out like an Amazon Prime package next day. And so we say goodbye to him, and we move on to the third game, and we walk into the white room again, and now there's 8 lines. Now, what are you thinking?
Okay, so before we even got in there, I was already like, it's gonna be tug of war. Everything else has been exactly like the show. We're gonna like play tug of war, and everybody was saying it, and they're like, oh, it's gonna be tug of war. I walk in there, I see the lines, I'm like, crap, it's tug of war. And instantly, I feel like that's the one show, like not the one show, the one game where I feel like people were very like scavenge, like they completely, you know how at the beginning they're like, oh, let's be friends. No, they're like, like move. And I see like all of a sudden like a herd of just buff guys and big girls in like different lines. And I'm like, okay. Again, I'm still trying to lay low. And I'm like, let me just go wherever there's space. And I think that was the most intense thing for me because I was in the line where it was nothing but the weaklings. Like it was like, I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it was me. It was a whole bunch of girls. And then we had like all the little skinny guys. We had Dash. We had I like how Dash comes up. No, like we had like, you know what I mean? Like we had Carlos, a little skinny guy. Like it was like literally like I felt buffer than a lot of these guys. And I'm like, crap, like I'm out of luck. And nobody, I feel like that's one part that they like didn't show as much. Nobody wanted to get in our line. That's when TG is like, oh, somebody get in their line. Like at the end, we ended up getting like an old man, which ended up being our captain. And like, you know what I mean? Kind of like Anor, which is the one that nobody wanted in his line either. So it's kind of like we got the hand-me-downs. And I'm like, it is what it is, you know, but I got really bad anxiety. I was crying. I was like, why? Why would you do this to me, God? Like, I was just freaking out. Like, yeah, there's no way. We're just gonna go in there to look like fools. Um,
So, yeah, no, go ahead.
no. Yeah, I wanted to stop because I talk too much.
No, you're okay. I love it. No, this is where it's all about you. So I want you to, explain things thoroughly and exactly as you want to. So you're doing exactly, you're doing perfect. You're doing great. I was gonna say, so you said you were getting, emotional in there. How do you feel about seeing 432 telling people to not be emotional? This isn't a game of sympathy.
You know what? Okay, so in that, if you look at like the video, like the little clip that they showed where he's like, you need to stop crying, blah, blah, blah. If you look at that clip, I'm sitting right behind him. So when that teaser trailer came out, I hit him up on Instagram and I was like, what? You were talking smack? I can be emotional if I want to be emotional. Like, I was like, what? And he's like, it wasn't even towards you. And then when I watched the show, I noticed it wasn't towards me. But I was like, let me be emotional. Like I was crying the whole time. Oh, another part that I didn't mention. Okay, so one of my very close friends, like we were super close, was Lorenzo actually. Like we were like besties, right? So when we were, because we had a countdown too. I don't know if I mentioned that. Like we had a countdown, and if somebody didn't join our line, what when the countdown was like, over, we were all gonna get eliminated. And I'm very prideful. I was like, I'm not gonna be like these fools. I'm not gonna be like, please join my line. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But when I seen it got down to 15 seconds, I was like, I'm gonna put my pride aside. Let me ask somebody. But I thought strategic. I'm like, I'm gonna ask somebody who I care for and cares for me. And Lorenzo was in the line next to me. And I'm like, dude, come to my line, please. We need one more person. I'm not trying to go home. And he looks at me and he literally goes, I will never. I was like, you're freaking fake. I literally called him out. I went off on him. So yeah, that's how me and him ended our relationship. I mean, we're cool now, but it was so intense because now I felt like scared, betrayed. I felt like so many things were going on. And then we go into the thing and it's battleships. And I'm like, miracles sent from heaven. I'm like, yay. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I felt so confident. Like, we got this. We're going to win. And look at me. I got eliminated.
Well, yeah, when we walk in and we find out it's Battleship, so there is hope alive, and you guys are going against TJ's team. They don't show you guys too much in there, unfortunately, because you guys didn't sink any
It's
ships.
TJ's time to shine.
Yeah, it's his time to shine, and yes, your boats are getting blasted and whatnot, and uh, I believe you're the last boat to get sunk, correct? On your team, you're the second boat to get sunk.
Yes.
Yes, you're the
Yeah.
second boat to get sunk. You're on the three boat, and 136, 135, and 386 are on this boat,
Uh-huh.
unfortunately. And yeah, you guys kind of go out. The edit didn't give you guys much fight in that, even though you guys did eventually hit one of their boats. But yeah, that's tough. I mean, you didn't really get too much of a fighting chance. But is there anything in the game that you kind of want to go through that was left out that you feel like that needs to be said or stated?
I mean, I feel like I'm kind of happy that a lot of it didn't get shown because that's the one game. I'm telling you, I wasn't myself the whole time there. I was very like, keep calm, lay low, chill vibes. But in that game, I started getting very irritated, very desperate because it's the one game where we didn't have control. It's the one game where I was just a sitting duck. And when because our captain had said he was really good at the game, and I just kept seeing like one hit, another hit. I'm like, dude, you lied to us. Like, we believed in you. So I was having a whole meltdown. I was like screaming at him. I was like, put him over here. Like, it was so embarrassing. So I'm so thankful that they cut that. Like, I'm legit like, yes. I went off on him. I felt so bad for the poor guy. Because, fun fact, we ended up flying back home together, and he's a really cool guy. But I was like, at the moment, I was like, you freaking liar, you don't know how to play this. Like, I was going crazy. And then the people behind me, the people that were in the boat with me were the other two Spanish speakers. So they spoke English, but not perfectly. And they were always asking me, like, what did she say? What did she say? And I'm like, shut up. They're saying to shut up. Don't talk to me. Because I didn't want the people in front of us to hear, what our plan was. And I legit blame it on them. I'm like, we got eliminated because you guys could not be quiet. Like, who made me the assigned translator? But to this day, I'm like, it's your guys' fault. We shouldn't have been in the same boat.
Yeah, no, that's a tough, egg of baskets that you was given, and you kind of just had to find the non-sour egg out the bunch, but you had a lot of sour ones in there, unfortunately,
Yeah.
and it's time to get a new chicken. But so yeah, so that's unfortunately where your 386 journey ends. So when you get back to the hotel, tell me how you feeling.
Um, okay, it's like a bittersweet moment because, well, first off, like when we got eliminated, I had never in my life played battleships, like ever. And I know it sounds crazy. I've seen the board game, but that's it. So when we got eliminated, my boat, and then Dash was like, oh, I'm gonna hate to see you leave because he was in the same group as us. I'm like, wait, no, you go home too. I was so confused as to why they were staying. I'm like, that's not like, no, you coming with me. What you mean? So when we finally got in the bus to go home, it was so bittersweet because I was sad that I was going home, but I was so freaking thankful for the snacks in that bus. I was like, I feel like literally like the ghetto came out of me. I was like, oh, my snack, my snack. I was like putting it in my pockets just in case we didn't eat for another few hours. So when we got to the hotel, I was definitely like kind of like relieved, as in like I hated being gone, but I was so like I feel like I was in jail. Like, dude, what did I sign up for? Like, why would I put myself through this? It was intense.
Yeah, no, it was definitely crazy, and it messed with your mental psyche a lot as well. So was a
Yeah.
crazy, crazy experience that, it's only relatable to the people who was in there. So those are the only ones who really understand. So when you finally fly back home from London, tell me how you feeling now.
Um, I okay, so when I got out, like I didn't have my electronics or anything because I had to do a MIV the next day, which they didn't even air. But I remember when I finally got my phone, I was like, I don't even want to call my family because I'm embarrassed. Like, I'm just not gonna say anything. And I'm like, whatever. And when I got home, I think that's when it hit me. I was kind of like, crap. Like, dude, I was okay, because I know it sounds super dumb of me, but the whole time in there, I'm telling you, I was very trying to focus on day by day. Like, I'm not gonna focus on that money. I'm gonna focus on just being grateful to be here. And then when I got home, I felt like such an idiot. Like, I was so close to so much money, and I was kind of like, I'm just happy to be here. So I think that's when it hit me, and I like had a whole meltdown. I was like, dude, like I should have done this, I should have done that. I was like, fuck my friends. I shouldn't have been friends with them. But I mean, it is what it is. Everything happens for a reason. I mean, I don't know. I think it was a little hard for me. How was it for you?
It was tough. No, I definitely stayed in the house a couple days and didn't talk to nobody. It was a tough pill to swallow. I mean, leaving the game and you see all this money in this piggy bank right in front of you, and even the when we first got in there, the 2 million something, I would have gladly taken that or any portion and
Right?
then left.
Give me
So it's tough.
10,000.
Exactly. I would have took my 10 grand and been gone. If they had that as an option, I would have
Yeah.
been out there. So it definitely was tough to kind of, pill to swallow. But I think, I was definitely depressed for a little bit. But once I got to talk to some of the people that was already out, which I'm glad we had the group chat and whatnot, it was a lot easier bigger pill to swallow. Like I talked to Beetle for a good like 2 hours on the phone. We're on the phone crying to each other, like I feel like crap, but it helped a
Aw.
lot. That was some good therapy and whatnot, and
Yeah.
definitely meeting some people in person helped soften the blow as well because ultimately there is only one winner and we're all a bunch of losers or almost all a bunch of losers at the end of the day when it comes to the Squid
Yeah.
Game. So definitely, I think the people helped the most out. So I'm thankful for them in those times that helped me get through that madness. But so yeah, so that's
You know what's
no, go ahead.
crazy? How we weren't allowed to talk to anybody or be on these chats. And I remember it's crazy that you bring that up because that's what got me through it too. And I remember welfare called us like sometime later and told us we could be in these chats. And I told him straight up, I'm like, no, you want me to be good? I need to be in this chat because it's for my sanity. I need to know that I'm not the only one who's going through it. And she was kind of like, like, okay, at least I told you what I had to tell you. But I really do think the chat helped so much because I felt like, am I the only one who's going through it? So
Yeah,
I was happy
no,
for
it,
that.
it helped
And
a
I mean,
lot.
I'm so thankful for the friendships we made. Like, I'm FaceTiming right now with like a person in another state in New York. Like, I'm very blessed now that I look back at it. Like, we have amazing connections in different parts of the world that we would have never had in real life?
Yeah, 100%, 100%, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I think that can take you further places, having those connections and whatnot. Than I ain't gonna say if you won the $4.56 million, but I'll just say it'll take you further if you went in there and didn't make any friendships or connections. So
Yeah,
definitely is important to
absolutely.
communicate and get to know people a little bit. And you never know what might happen. It could be good for your personal sanity, or it could be good for business ventures. And who knows? But you got to put yourself out there and give yourself the chance to do that. So yeah,
A lot of
definitely.
people actually tell me like, how are you so close to the people in there when you just met them? But you know what I think it was? We had no phones, no social media, no TV, no distractions. So all we had is to do that real genuine talk with each other, to get to know each other. And in a way, now that I look back at it, I'm like, that is so amazing. We got like to experience a genuine connection with people that we wouldn't have experienced if we had our phones. We were like, oh, that's cool, you know, like, but we actually were intrigued to find out more because we had nothing better to do. So I
Yeah.
think that's why our connections are like so close with everybody in there, because I feel like in a way it's like a family, you know, we were all in there forever.
Yeah, no, definitely good relations with, all the people on the show. I have all everything that happened, good, bad, ugly, that happened on the show. I'm willing to forgive and forget. Things off the show, I ain't gonna talk about all that right now, but that's another topic for another day. But yes, everything on the show, no bad blood with any reason that anybody did anything on the show was for money. It was a game show. No love
Yeah,
lost when it comes to that in particular. So
same
cool.
here.
Well, yeah. So thank you so much, Mimi, for joining. Is there any like last words that you want to tell to the people, or any tea that you want to spill, or any juice that needs to be leaked that we did not cover?
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, I always have tea to spill, but no, I mean, okay, there was a lot of tea in there, but like you said, I feel like at the end of the day, like we were all in there for a reason. Like I see some people like getting bullied and stuff, and I'm like, dude, like they did what they had to do to get by, you know, and you would too for a check. So I mean, I'm just happy for the experience. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks for your patience with everything, and I hope to stay in touch. And oh, one thing I do want to say is I get so many messages, DMs, questions. Oh my God, I want to apply. It's not as easy as it looks. That's all I want to say. Like, girl, you're signing up for prison for the free. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like, especially as a girl, like the not having makeup, lotion, nothing. It's like, it's really difficult in there, like super
Yeah, no,
difficult.
definitely for you ladies, it's a lot more. It's a Hunger Games for y'all. You gotta
It
really be
is.
comfortable in your own skin to be on that show. Waking up every morning and not getting the chance to even wash your face with nothing but water, or getting put simple as
Yeah.
lotion on, or lipstick, or whatever you need to do. And if you're not comfortable with yourself, you will not survive a day in those dorms, because you'll just not want to get out of bed. You'll just hide all day.
Yeah.
And so definitely props to all the ladies on the show. Y'all definitely showed up and showed out for show. And y'all,
Well, the guys too. That's another thing that was so difficult that they don't show the temptation. Like, I'm like, where did all these buff guys come from? Like, what the heck? I'm like, I'm just trying to take a shower over here, and I was like, don't look, don't look. I remember, what's his name, Teo, the one that passed the line first. I was like, dude, can you do me a solid and just put a shirt on? I got a man, and it's a little bit difficult not to look. And he was like, he was just looking at me like, nah. So that was
Lord.
hard too.
Hey, look, if I said they'd give us a little alcohol, you could have had another show popping off, y'all. But y'all don't want to give us no alcohol, so
No.
y'all should have had some
For
fruit
real, when I
alcohol.
saw the condoms in there, I was like, holy moly, what's gonna happen in here?
Hey, look now. I exactly. I was thinking like, who is gonna, because we all sleeping in the same place, so like, there's no privacy. That's my thing. It's like, I don't know if somebody's that brave, but I show
You
ain't that brave.
interviewed a lot of people. Has anybody done the nitty gritty?
No, nobody has, and I don't think the only person that did was people that before we lit red light, green light. There was a couple, but
Yeah.
nobody has, and nobody. I haven't really touched on like the whole condom thing, because it doesn't really have anything to do with anyone's story per se. Like it's just like an extra
True.
thing that was there. But nobody that I've talked to had like temptations per se. Like not, I
Yeah.
can't think of one person, just because that wasn't the show that we were thinking of going on. So I think that was it. And then the condoms caught everybody by surprise. Like we were not expecting to see condoms in there. Like y'all could have put
Yeah.
some lotion in here, y'all could have put some chapstick, but y'all put condoms in here. That's what we're gonna break the bread on. So I don't know. I don't know. Yes, there was some interest involved, but at the same time, us guys, and everyone's looking a little rough in there right now, because we ain't got nothing going on. So it's like, look, I don't even look. I don't even look at myself in the mirror sometimes, because it's just looking a
I
mess right now.
know, same here. But I mean, there was some love triangles. I'm just like,
There
oh,
was, there was, yeah,
how?
there was a few, but nothing really. People were eliminated so quickly, and the game progressed so quick. I mean, the whole game only
Yeah.
lasted like 16 or 17 days. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
if we were there a little bit longer and maybe had a little bit better of accommodations, then I could see something happening for sure. But it was just, everything was just happening so quick, and you weren't
That's true.
nutritioned
Yeah.
well enough to be like give that kind of energy out. So Hopefully next
Yeah.
season they add a little extra human elements and we can see some showmances because that'd be funny and interesting to watch on Squid Game. Something for him. There is a showmance that did form from the show though. Um,
Oh yeah, I
uh,
seen.
Alex and Joy, those two. So
And it's such a cute couple. I was
yeah,
like, what? That is so insane. They're super cute together. Are you signing up for season two?
I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I probably won't make a decision until maybe New Year's, but I'll think about
Yeah.
it. Now, I wouldn't say no, but knowing how everything works and it's a big luck game to where a lot of it's out of your hands,
Yeah.
eh, I need a little bit more skill involved for my personal take or just some kind of control. Some kind of control. Like let's play
Yeah.
hangman or something, or let's play scrabble, like let's do something, but
Yeah.
just this random rock paper scissors and this pressing buttons and voting, like
Yeah,
just
that
picking
is true.
people in a trust line, it just doesn't sit well with me to want to maybe do that again, but who knows? I mean, I'm not gonna say no, but we'll see. What
Yeah.
about you?
I mean, I don't think they would cast this again, to be honest.
They
And
said they
like
were
you said,
casting
I
people
don't
from
want
season
to say
one.
no. Huh?
They said they were casting people from season one.
Oh, I didn't know that. But I don't want to say no because I said no the first time. I was like, I can't do all this. And then I feel like I was actually pretty surprised in myself, like the ability of the stuff I could do. So I mean, I feel like I would be up for another challenge. I want to be like savage this time. I want to be like, I don't like you. I don't like you.
No, same. So, but yeah, we'll see though. We'll see. Squid Game season two. Be on the lookout. You might see a couple familiar faces on there. We'll work together that time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. I'm like,
All
you're coming
right.
with me. You're buff.
I got you. I got you. I got you. 100%. Well, Mimi, it was so good to finally get to meet. I'm sorry again that we was missing each other, but it finally
No,
happened, and
it's
I'm so
fine.
happy that we did
I'm
get
sorry.
this through and whatnot. And better late than never. But I appreciate you
Yes.
so much for coming on. You a beautiful soul. Definitely got a lot
Oh,
of
thanks for
things
having
going
me.
on. Looking forward to seeing coming out from you. And till next time, y'all. We out here. Peace and blessings.
Bye. Thanks for having me.